lack is a process leading to abundance. That's what I thought when I was thinking about why we experience lack. Lately I've seen proofs that are showing me that I'm actually lacking of this thing I want for a little while. And then my brain is putting focus onto these realities, or in a way I was comparing myself to others who have that thing that I want. And I've seen so many of these realities, and I feel like I don't have it. And I was thinking, why am I experiencing this? And that's when I get to conclusion to this lack is a process leading to abundance. Yeah. Don't mind me looking down. There's my memo I took here. So I thought in order for you to wish for something, you must lack it first, right? Because if you had it, or if you when you have it already, why would you wish to have it, right? You don't have it, that's why you want it. You're gonna want it. So and there's that. It is because we feel the desire for what we lack that we move forward in search of the hope of fulfillment. In other words, if there's no lack, desires do not arise. This is kind of true, right? We desire for something because we think we are lacking of whatever you think you're lacking of. And it is just a process, one of the processes you go through on your way to get whatever you are wanting, whatever you are searching for in your reality, right? By lack, seeing lack in your reality is not comfortable, actually uncomfortable. And we want things to happen instantly. We want change to happen instantly. We need everything instant. We want everything instantly. At least I want everything as soon as possible. And I've seen, like I said, so many things that are kind of enforcing or proving that I am lacking of the thing I want for a little while. And it is uncomfortable to see that reality, I guess I could say. And I remember I read a book that said similar things, so yeah. And I took a memo from that book. I don't want to experience lack. No lack equals no desires. So if you could go to a world where all desires are fulfilled, you would have everything, since there's no lack exists there, right? And I thought, wait, if all your desires were fulfilled, then you're going to need nothing, since you're fully fulfilled, and you are gonna wanna nothing, right? Because you're fulfilled. Your desires, you have no desires to get anything, to become something, to anything. And you don't need anything to validate yourself. You don't need to have something to feel better. It's kind of contradicting, and it didn't make any sense to me on first thought. On my first thought about all desires were fulfilled, then you're going to need nothing, since you're fully fulfilled and you're gonna want a nothing. So hypothetically, if you are in a world where all desires are fulfilled, you're not going to get hungry or thirsty. You're going to have no hope, no wishes, no desires, no goals or dreams. No dreams, since all your desires are fulfilled. Does that sound intriguing to you? To me, it sounds extremely boring and sad. Yeah, that's also another thing I thought about. So, no lack means no desires, because we want something. We want to become something because we think that we are lacking it, right? So if all your desires were fulfilled, then you're gonna wanna need nothing because you're already fulfilled. And no lack meaning no desires, no dreams, no wishes, no goals, no dreams, no hope. Yeah, so I thought it's interesting because I thought, since me as a human being, I feel like something, now that I know I cannot be perfect, and I am embracing my imperfection. Does that make sense? But I have always desire of getting, something money, fame, recognition, validation. I don't know, whatever I want, but I am craving for something. I am always hoping for something. I am always I have dreams and goals and desires that I want to make real. So, but sometimes it evokes me gloomy feelings, because I want it. I want everything right now. I want everything as soon as possible, right? I just don't want to wait. I want it now. To be honest, I want it now. I want everything now. Right? Now, without waiting, without wishing, without thinking about it. Thinking of myself getting that and just give me now. Honestly, that's how I feel all the time. So sometimes I imagine if I could go to heaven where all my desires are fulfilled and where I have everything and I can be literally anything and anytime I want without waiting. Yeah. But now that I'm talking it out loud, I've heard someone talking about we came to Earth to enjoy taking action, because concept of taking action only exists on this planet, and where we are originally from, I don't know where it is, but everything is perfect and your manifestations come true instantly. So that's why we came Earth to sort of enjoy the time lag, or like I said, concept of taking action, because where we are originally from, there's no concept of taking action, and you can manifest things instantly. So that's why it's no fun there. That's why we came here. I'm pretty sure there's like, you know, many explanations or theories on that, like, you know, why we are here, why we exist. That's why we're on this planet in the first place. Like, that's the reason, to enjoy humanness, I guess. So yeah. And yep. And I also thought, why do we experience lack, right? Because I don't want to. So what I read is, so you already have everything, and if anything, you are everything. Like, you know, you are perfect being, so that's why you already have everything, and you are everything. So when perfect being like you desire to have or become something, then you're gonna have to experience the lack, where you see yourself lacking it, you know, whatever you want or whatever you want to become. You know, you have to experience the lack, where you see yourself lacking it, to make your desire come true. So, like, you know, you are perfect being, and you have everything, and you are everything. So that's why when you want something, or when you want to become something, but that, whatever it might be, but you already have that, and you already are that. So, like, it's part of you already. But when you wish, when you want, when you desire, like, these things, like, you know, if you want, hypothetically, if you want to be rich, but you are already rich as you are, as a being, but since you are perfect and you already have that within you as a part of yourself, so if you wish to become rich, if you want to become rich, then, like, you know, rich part of, sounds really weird, and I'm still figuring out, or it's beyond comprehension, but rich part of yourself has to be separated from you, because it's part of you, and it has to be separated from you. And you see the lack, because it's taking away from you, so you see the lack of, you know, the rich version of yourself, or yeah, you see the lack, you see you are not rich because it's taking away from you, and you will get it again, and that's how you complete your, like, you know, wish to become rich. You want, did that make sense? I hope that made sense. But when I first time read that, like, paragraph, I didn't quite understand, but now I understand it. But so, since you already have everything and you are everything, so when you want something, when you want to become something that you already are, it has to be separated from you, and you see the lack, and you're gonna put it back into you. That's how you complete your wish to become something, or wish to have something, right? So, and you only get to see what you are lacking of, since it is separated away from you. You cannot see yourself and what you have already. You already have everything, and you are everything, and when you want, you know, it will be separated, and that's what you can see, because it is separated away from you, so you can see what you are lacking of. So you only get to see what you are lacking of since it is separated away from you. So in other words, you cannot see what you are and what you already have. So that's why I said, like, you know, earlier I said, like, you know, I forgot what I said. I said something like something because you think you are lacking of. You think you are lacking of, or something along these lines, because you think you're lacking of. I don't even know that's the right way to express that, but I think, you know, according to this memo I took, you are a perfect being. So you already have everything and you are everything. I know that sounds like it is beyond comprehension to me. So yeah, but I'm okay with that. So, and what did I say? You only get to see what you're lacking of since it is separated away from you. You cannot see what you have or what you already are. So for example, for instance, you cannot see so you already are happy, but you cannot see the happiness itself, right? Because it is part of you. And perhaps like you can see why you're happy, because you have money, you have like beautiful family, because you have dream job, or you know, you can see why you think maybe why you are happy, but you cannot see the happiness itself because it's, you know, it is intangible thing. It is not visible because it's part of you. I just wanted to say that. I don't know why I said that, but I just wanted to say that, yeah. And when you're like watching spiritual things, like people, like, you know, when you're watching like videos of people talking about like spiritual things and like law of attraction or something like that, you know, people say just believe that you already have and act like you already have. Like, you know, I say that as well, but you act like you already have that and act like you already that version of yourself and act like it, and you will attract that in reality. So now that I said, you know, these things, why we experience lack, that also makes sense, because when you want something, when you want to become something, you're gonna have to experience lack. But if you believe or think and try to believe that you already have that, or you already are that version of yourself, and you act like that, then you don't I don't know how exactly it works, but at least you don't need to experience lack as much as you do when you want to have that or when you want to become that. Does that make sense? Because lack arises because you are a perfect being, and you, as perfect being you are, and if you want to have something, if you want to become something, so you're gonna have to experience lack because it's already part of you and you already have it and you already are that. Like, I keep saying the same thing a million times. Yeah, so that kind of makes sense. So, like, you know, just trust that you already have that and just be that version of yourself you want to become already, act like as that version of yourself. Then you will have like be, do, have, like that order. And that kind of makes sense to me more now. Yeah. And like I said, lack is just, you know, trigger. So when you see lack in your life, that means you're gonna get it because we experience lack. That means you're in the process of getting it in your reality, because you lack it first and you wish for something and you get it. That is also another way to make your manifestation real, come true, or right? So lack is just, that's why I said lack is a process leading to abundance. But if you don't want to experience lack, then all you gotta do is just trust that you already have that and act like be the version of yourself you want to become already right now, and behave like it, act like it, and you will manifest that in your reality without experiencing lack, or not experiencing as much lack as you do when you want to become something. Did that make sense? So yeah. And lack is just, lack is just a thing that starts off your journey to get whatever you want to get, or whatever you want to become. And that is just a trigger for you to obtain whatever you want in your future, or whatever you want to become. That is just a trigger. But we dwell on it, and we constantly, or at least myself, I always put focus on to what I am lacking of in my life, and I dwell on it, and I think why am I lacking of it, and then starts to get into this negative spiral I'm always in, because I'm constantly focusing on what I am lacking of in my life. But that is just a trigger that is leading me to abundance, or that is leading me to whatever I want, or whatever I want to become. So it is just a process. So welcome in and let it go, and enjoy the process, because it is just a process. You're not supposed to stop that. You're not stop there. You're not supposed to dwell on it. You're not supposed to suffer in it because you think you're lacking of it. But that is just a process. So yeah, but no lack equals no desires. That means you can desire because you lack of something. So, and you are just in the process of getting that when you are experiencing lack in your life. So that's pretty much I wanted to talk about. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it till this point, oh my gosh, I genuinely cannot thank you enough, and I hope you have wonderful, mystical, awesome, great bedtime, nighttime, lunchtime, morning, evening, weekend, weekday, whenever you're watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and I love you so much, and I will talk to you very soon.